Following the ThundersportGB Championship around Great Britain, this show features the HEL Performance Streetfighters and Thundersport Bridgestone 500s as stripped fairing bikes go head to head. Welcome to Thundersport Naked.
The HEL Performance Streetfighters here at Rockingham. A couple of grey clouds overhead, but hopefully we'll have an all-dry race here in the HEL Performance Streetfighters. Pole position for number 121, Martin Stanier, on an A-class machine. There's the Streetfighter A's, B's and C's. Difference between them, engine capacity. We have second place Rothwell, REECE Rothwell. A couple of spits of rain now coming on the camera lens. Hopefully we're not going to get a rain-affected race. Number 2, ANDREW Plaskitt, third on the grid. Another Streetfighter A rider. And then on the outside there is Poppy, Ian Popperwell, number 17, who's a man that will be looking to wrap up his Street Fighter B championship at some point in the next few rounds. Of the Street Fighter C's, well, Brad Davey leads the championship after Tony Hughes was absent from Snetterton, but I can tell you that Mr. Punch, Tony Hughes, is back out there on the grid, so keep an eye out for number 35. The lights are ready to go out here, though, in the Street Fighters, and it looks like a good start there from Stanier. Oh, and someone really struggling off the line there. I'm thinking that's number 11, Gordon Wright, and Thundersport Sid, who's to the right of me in the commentary booth, nicknamed him Flash, but that wasn't a very flashy start.
No, he's been struggling with that, to be fair, all weekend, and I think he's going to have to strip that clutch. It sort of slips and slips and slips, he told me last night, and then it grabs. At least that's what he's telling me.
That's a good excuse.
It's his first ever race weekend, so it is a fantastic effort. He's done so well. AA Patrolman from Falkirk in Scotland.
Yep, so nice to have him out on the grid, and hopefully get that clutch sorted and be fighting with the guys at the front of this. There's number 14, Brad Davey, going through, but it's dust being kicked up. Still a couple of specks of rain on our camera lens here, suggesting that we might see some rain. Now, this was started out as a dry race, so hopefully we won't see any rain, but at the front of this one, Martin Stanier going away well. In the background there, I can tell you that there's a number of other riders to look out for. Not least
dark cloud there, Steve. Look way over the back of the grandstand. Very dark cloud. Yeah,
well, hopefully we won't get that involved, but you can see there, you'll be able to notice number 12, Michael Russell, on a Suzuki. Michael Russell has entered a couple of rounds of the championship in the past with ThundersportGB, but it looks to me like that's Lee Hardy's bike that he's out there on. I have to confirm that, but it certainly looks like it. Championship leader, of course, REECE Rothwell overall as number 46. That's James Flood. His bike's being run back, and that's certainly not the rider pushing it. That's the men and women in orange helping out. Stanier still leads, though, in Street Fighter A, second in the championship, looking to get as many points over Rothwell as possible. Still waiting, realistically, for a corking race in this championship so far this year, Sid. Not quite had the fights that we are used to seeing between Denyer and Smith, for example.
Well, we've had a rate of attrition again. I mean, REECE Rothwell has had quite a few nice weekends as far as he's concerned, but it's just a matter of them getting together, and I don't know, each circuit seems to favour a different rider, and somebody stretches off. But there's some nice battles there, has to be said. Further down the field, I mean, always Mr. Punch in the mix. That's Tony Hughes. Obviously, he's always there. Lovely, by the way, to see Biggles McMillan back.
Yes, Duncan McMillan back with us here this weekend. Number 7, Street Fighter C competitor. And as far as the Street Fighter C championship stands concerned, it is Davey fighting with Hughes overall. There is, of course, Street Fighter Extreme points up for grabs, and they're the ones that we tend to concentrate on here at ThundersportGB. That is where every single rider, wherever they finish, they'll score points overall also. Michael Russell really is the fastest man out on circuit at the moment. Ian Popplewell having a good ride on the Triumph. It's Martin Stanier, your race leader. Andy Plaskett going well also.
I tell you, there's a few more spits of rain. The track is okay, but I tell you, you have to watch those curbs. Those curbs are lethal in the wet.
There's big Duncan McMillan just ahead of Brad Davey. And, well, any curb is lethal in the wet. And these riders, effectively, you could say that Martin Stanier is the guinea pig at the moment, as the man out the front.
It's always the trouble when you're out front.
So it's Stanier from Rothwell, from Plaskett at the moment. With
Rothwell's rear end keeps letting go, Steve. Did you notice? That's why I'm just a bit concerned. It's a bit slimy here and there.
There's the MZ of Andy Driver. Beautifully turned out machine, that one. Designed and made himself.
Factory.
Yeah, factory man.
He tells me sponsored by the Inland Revenue, which is fantastic. He's used, rather than pay them, he's paid for his racing. Very good, I like it. Self-announced on TV by his good self. But Keith, always having heart attacks on pit wall, his very good friend, and Cook.
Wife.
Bottle washer. Yeah, maybe wife, who knows.
Back at the front of this race, it's still Martin Stanier that leads as he exits Gracelands and heads down towards Tarzan Corner. He's got around about a 2 or 3 second lead now over the rest of the field. And if he's got a pit board, it's, well, there are a couple that you can see the rain coming down there. There's just a shot there and he's having a look over his shoulder. So there is rain coming down as Stanier goes through Brook. And in second place, it is still that manic scrap between Rothwell, Plaskett and Russell. There is Popplewell just up ahead of Adam Palfreman. Ian Popplewell leading the Street Fighter B Championship handsomely, it has to be said. He's another rider that could wrap up the championship at Anglesey depending on how Adam Palfreman fares. Number 51, Lee Hutchinson, nice to have him back out there ahead of Andy Driver there on the MZ. And then number 6 is Gary Coombs. Gary Coombs, a regular in the ThundersportGB paddock in the Street Fighter C Championship. There is the race leader again, though, Martin Stanier, and the rain is starting to come down heavily now. Now, these guys out there on dry tyres, they're going to start feeling this. The grip is going to start falling away. There's Plaskett in second. Rothwell where's Rothwell disappeared to? Have we lost Rothwell, or is he just a bit further back because of the conditions? There's Ian Popplewell. Look at the rain coming down. Tony Hughes is loving it. He's, of course, he's out there supermoto styley on his Street Fighter C. He won't care about this weather. Give him a couple more laps, that's what he's saying. There is Michael Russell, number 12. He doesn't seem to mind the conditions too much either.
Track temperature was so high, look, you can see it still looks dry, but they keep running those curves.
Oh, we've lost one rider already, and that's Rothwell.
That is Rothwell, yeah. That is Flash.
That's Flash. Gordon Wright has gone down. So a number of riders gone down. There's now... Well, we've got a new race leader. Michael Russell, who doesn't feature in the championship, is leading the race, tippy-toey around Tarzan, the hairpin. A number of riders going down out of this race. We've lost Andy Plaskett as well, and Tony Hughes has gone down somewhere. So we've lost a number of riders out of this race. We're only left with 13 running.
We'll stop this soon.
And the hands are going up here. That's Adam Palfreman with his arm up. Ian Popplewell there.
Red flag.
Yeah, red flags are out. Red flags are out.
Oh, I thought so. We
are past halfway distance, so the race result will be confirmed. Well, what a surprising result this is. Now, I can tell you that Michael Russell has won it. Palfreman second, but wins Street Fighter B. Popplewell third. McMillan winning Street Fighter C, and fourth ahead of Brad Davies. Steve Bradbury sixth.
Michael
So the Street Fighter A podium, Russell wins it from Bradbury and Gary Coombs third. Street Fighter B winner, Adam Palfreman from Ian Popplewell and Lee Hutchinson. And in the C's, it's Duncan McMillan that wins from Brad Davey and Keith Warren.
HEL Performance Street Fighter C winner, Duncan McMillan. How did you find the tricky situation with the weather today?
It was all right for about 4 or 5 laps, and then a few people started crashing, then we backed off a bit, stayed upright, points make prizes, but in the end I think I beat the A-class and the B-class by staying upright in that one, because they all ended up in the kitty litter, so happy out, you know.
Well done. Have you got any sponsors to thank?
Well, funnily enough, Ryanair for giving me a couple of swaps for letting me race here today. My mechanic Matthew, who was always a great help. Thundersport for putting on a good show. I haven't raced for 9 months, but it's great to be back.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Adam Palfreman, the winner of the HEL Performance Street Fighter B class. How did you find the race out there today?
I enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed the mixed weather that we have. I was a bit worried at the start of the race when it started spitting. Didn't know if it would be red flagged or not. But I'm quite glad it stayed, kept going. Got a good result in the end, so I'm very pleased.
Made it through to the top. Have you got any sponsors to thank?
Loads. SafeLink Services and Goldmar, financial assistance. Dan Brady and the guys from Race Alternative been here this weekend helping me out with the bikes. And as always, my dad, who makes sure they're all running and got fuel in that for me.
Well done, thank you very much. HEL Performance Street Fighter A winner, Mike Russell. Who have you brought with you today?
Well, I've brought quite a few family and friends. This is my daughter Billy, who's hoping to get started in racing soon, so I thought I'd just show what it's actually like to stand up on the podium. Yeah, it's a good little race. Thanks for broadcasting it hopefully. The weather played a bit of a hindrance to the leaders. We had a good little race. Me and Andy having a good little battle for third, or what would have been second, hopefully. Unfortunately, it came to Cropper, and then Martin, catching Martin on that last lap before the red flag, and he went down on the right-hander. But good race. If I can, I'd like to just say a massive thanks to the team, Lee Hardy Racing, my engine man, Mike Hemingway, because if it hadn't been for him working till about 4 o'clock this morning with me, we wouldn't have had a bike to go. So I'm going to get to bed in a bit before the next race, but thanks very much anyway for all your help and support, and there's many more that I can't actually think of right at the minute, but you know who you are, but thank you.
You've said it all, thanks Mike.
Moped, sports bikes, you save watts. Any bike, it makes no odds. We will give you what you need. Best price always guaranteed. Come to us and get a quote. You'll be singing note for note. Walk away with cash to spend on anything you want, my friend. Bike Insurer, Bike Insurer, Bike Insurer.
Get the cheapest bike insurance, guaranteed, only from the Bike Insurer.
Welcome back to Rockingham for Thundersport Naked. The HEL Performance Street Fighters up next. 3 classes in one, Street Fighter A, B and C, all split from engine capacity. And on pole position there, number 121, Martin Stanier, looking to close the gap in the championship down on this man, REECE ROTHWELL, number 9, who's been in a rich vein of form recently. Third place, there is a blank space there. It's because Andy Plaskett was supposed to be there, but hasn't turned up on the grid, so hopefully he's okay and not injured. And then, of course, Poppy, Ian Popplewell, leader of the Street Fighter B Championship, on the outside of the front row. And I would say of the 3 championships, that's probably the one that's looking like it's going to go first. Ian Popplewell has a very good lead ahead of Adam Palfreman, Bob Dockett and Mick Riddle overall in the championship. But we are ready for action. Green flag at the back means the red lights will go on any second. And the HEL Performance Street Fighters is go from Rockingham. A good start from Martin Stanier there, 1-2-1 on the Suzuki 750, but not as good as championship leader REECE ROTHWELL. As I said, they're split in A, B and C. That's engine capacity and brake horsepower. So Street Fighter A's have a limit of 130. Street Fighter Bs have a limit of 100 brake horsepower, Street Fighter C 75. Now the Street Fighter Cs will be more recognisable. Most of those guys are out on Supermoto machines, and the current champion, Tony Hughes, number 35, is back with us here at Rockingham. But he's got to chase down Brad Davey, who leads that championship by 48 points. At the front, it's the fight for Street Fighter A supremacy. Number 9, REECE ROTHWELL, who leads overall. All of these guys do count for points in the Street Fighter Extreme Championship as well. As you look at number 51, Lee Hutchinson. Nice to have Lee out there with us. And REECE ROTHWELL is leading that championship also. So it's Rothwell that leads. Martin Stanier trying to close down. There is number 17, Ian Popperwell, leader of the B Championship. And just behind him is Adam Palfreman, number 32. So Street Fighter B's championship leader and second place man just behind each other. It's another rider that's up at the front there, number 12, that's Michael Russell. Michael out there on a Suzuki 750, not having scored any points with us so far in 2012, but certainly got plenty of pace as he's up there with the race leaders. So it's Rothwell from Russell, then Martin Stanier in third. They're all Street Fighter A machines. Fourth overall there is Ian Popperwell of Hull. He leads Street Fighter B. Last year's Street Fighter A champion, Keith Smith, who's on the mend from injury. Got a text message off him a few weeks ago, and he's hoping to show up at Cadwell Park as a visitor, so hopefully we'll see if we can perhaps get Grace to have a chat with him and see how he's mending. And he said that he's up for a good scrap with Ian Popperwell next year. He wants to enter the same championship as Ian, and I'll tell you what, that's a couple of characters there for you if them two are fighting against each other. There's Martin Stanier, a rider we've seen in Street Fighter B for a couple of years previous to this, and this year he's in Street Fighter A due to getting out there on a bigger bike for this year. And he's going to block past REECE ROTHWELL, nicely done into Tarzan there, so he moves ahead of his championship rival. It doesn't really matter for these two that Michael Russell's got out front. Russell, he will score points but doesn't feature in the championship standings, so I think these two guys here, 121 and number 9, who are fighting overall, won't really have too much of a problem with Russell getting out the front. They all want to win races, of course, but his lap times are significantly quicker. We see there just a shot of number 88, Andy Driver, going through there on the MZ. And then once again focus on Lee Hutchinson out there on a Kawasaki 650, sponsored by SRT Limited. Rider from Beverley. Of course, his brother Alex Hutchinson was a winner of the GP2 Championship a couple of years ago. It'd be nice to see Alex back with us sometime soon. I did hear whispers and rumours of that happening, but we'll have to wait and see. Back at the front though, Michael Russell. It is that leads. Number 11 there, further back, that's Gordon Wright with the orange bib on. Gordon, 35-year-old from Falkirk. Let's sit back and enjoy some onboard footage. Your race leader is still Michael Russell from Martin Stanier. Here he is coming through the Brook chicane now and onto the oval circuit. Riders facing the last lap now. Of course, Anglesey next up for all of these teams before heading to Lincolnshire, Cadwell Park, and then the finale, the season finale in October at Mallory Park, the home of ThundersportGB in Leicestershire. We started the season at Brands, of course, went to Mallory shortly after. Mallory is the only circuit on the calendar that we go to twice. Oh, and that's Andy Driver. He's pulled up there and he's maybe fancies a watch instead. This is a Street Fighter C battle. That's number 7 there, Duncan McMillan, Big Dunk, the Easy Jet. Mr. Easy Jet going up alongside Tony Hughes, Mr. Punch, who's back with us after a couple of rounds from being absent. and he's got to catch up with Brad Davey. Brad Davey, who back at Snetterton, when his Aprilia dropped his guts around the circuit, and he had to borrow other machinery just to get some points, and he's built himself a 48-point advantage. But I reckon by the time we get to Anglesey, they'll be almost level on points. Meanwhile, at the front of this one, away with it on this final lap and really pushing hard on the front into Tarzan is number 12, Michael Russell. And he's even got a chance for a look around and a little bit of showboating as well. A wheelie on the school straight. Don't do that before you've crossed the finish line, Michael. Through Brook Chicane he comes, and it's all about who's behind, because there's a fight in the championship between Stanier and Rothwell. But overall race victory in Street Fighter Extreme points of 25 go to Michael Russell. He wins here at Rockingham. And he's good 3 or 4 seconds ahead of the rest of the crew. This is the fight for Street Fighter C, and it's Duncan McMillan and Tony Hughes fighting each other there side by side. Watch the cones, Mr. Punch, as he tucks in the slipstream and comes across the line, and he's going to lose that battle. Duncan McMillan will win Street Fighter C. I can tell you that Poppy did win Street Fighter B ahead of Adam Palfram, and there's confirmation of the standings. Russell wins from Stanier, Rothwell third ahead of Poppy, Gordon Wright and Adam Palfram. A very happy Michael Russell in the middle there, with Stanier to the left and Rothwell to the right. Ian Popplewell wins Street Fighter B from Adam Palfram and Bob Docker. And in Street Fighter C, it's Duncan McMillan the winner from Tony Hughes and Brad Davey. So, championship standings overall, Street Fighter Extreme, Rothwell has a lead, but he can't win the championship just yet. He leads it from Stanier, Plaskett in third, and Poppy fourth.
Winner of the Street Fighter C class, Duncan McMillan.
Yeah, 3 wins. I'm over the moon. Just thanks to Scouser, Dave and Ryan, their crew control, doing me swaps, getting me here, Jermaine Racing and me mechanic Matt and the whole club, brilliant. You know, first race in 9 months and 3 wins. It's fantastic. Over the moon. I thought I lost it a bit, getting a bit old, but I'm back on it now.
Well done on your win.
Thanks.
And we move over to Street Fighter B winner, Ian Popplewell. Can I grab you for a chat? Yeah. Well done on your win today. How does that feel?
Yeah, great race really. Got off with these quicker lads on the airs, mucked in, pulled me along a bit, brought me from the others in my class, and I'm in there, yeah. Triumph was really good. Just like to thank Spares Unlimited of all, John from RegPlates.com, and Speed Sportable also for the ladders and the helmet and stuff. And I've had a real good weekend. Thanks very much.
Street Fighter A winner, second time Mike Russell. How does that feel?
Brilliant, obviously. It's been over a year and a half since I've been on a bike. So to come back to a meeting and get 2 wins, I'm really chuffed with. Unfortunately, this might be my only outing this year, so hopefully we'll see if Lee will sponsor us the bike again. We just need to find someone to pay the entrance fees, and then we'll hopefully be at Anglesey again. So, but yeah, I really love it. I mean, thanks to the Royal Air Force, obviously, for giving us the time off, and obviously, hopefully promoting them while I'm out here doing this. Lee Hardy for sponsoring us the bike. Mike for doing my engines again. Massive thank you to him. Total Team Care Track. Total Team Care Trackside for sponsoring us this meeting. Entries, and so many others, my family, my daughter for supporting me, and all the rest of them. Thank you very much.
Well, that's it from Thundersport Naked at Rockingham. Next to us, Anglesey in the August Bank Holiday weekend. From Grace Webb in pit lane and myself, Steve Day, we'll see you then.